Hey, good morning, everybody. It's bright and early Saturday morning. This is the March the 3rd, 3 days into March already. How you like that? Uh, Chilled down overnight. It's not as warm as it has been. I think it's only going to reach just about 70. I thought we was going to be out of the cooler weather. I figured everything was going to be really nice and warm from now on, but guess guess not. That's all right. Let's uh, let's take and see what the temperature is right now. Hey, what's the temperature in DeLand, Florida?
In the land it's clear and 49,
Oh man,
with sun and a high of 65 in the forecast.
oh, she's saying only 65. I heard 70. She's always low, but 49. Man, gosh, that's cold. What do you think of that? I don't. I guess some people enjoy the little cooler, but that's not usually what I enjoy. But hey, welcome everybody. This is Bob, Lucky Dog Productions. We're come on here every morning and just chat a little bit, talk about whatever. Um, could be about anything, anything you'd like to chat about, or if you're not on here, or leave a comment. Well, I'll chat about what I want to chat about. Seeing it's cooler here today, let's just check and see what it is up north here. What's the temperature in Wooster, Ohio?
There's a flood warning in effect until 10 p.m. on Tuesday, the 6th. In Wooster it's clear and 25, with sun and a high of 36 in the forecast.
So they've had it pretty cool, and they've been having flooding up there. I guess they've been having rain up there, quite a bit. So the of course Banter don't look like rain, but I guess they've had well in this time of year up north. The ice pack melts down and they get flooding, but then it melts and then it freezes again. Uh, Speaking up north. Today we're going over to, well, it's the reason I'm saying speaking up north, there's a group from Ohio comes down here to Florida. They have the CFL FPV meet. We're going to, friend Todd's coming over and we're going to run over there today and see what's going on there. But yeah, they come from north and they think it's beautiful now. Well, it had been. They'll probably feel, no, they won't feel bad because they're from north. This morning will not feel that cold to them, but we're going to take the road track. Going to take a run over there today and see what's going on. FPV is first person view. It's radio control. We fly planes and drones and even what I want to say racing quads. That's what they've done. My mind just stops sometimes. Um, but that's today. We're going to run over there and see. Last year we went over, took the road trek, spent like 3 4 days, about 4 days over there, and it was fun. Noisy at night though. That was the biggest issue. Um, so let's see if she can tell us a riddle. Tell me a riddle.
What word becomes shorter when you add two letters to it?
Oh, she isn't going to tell me. Are you ticklish? Try Are you ticklish? I didn't get that one. Did you all get that one? It says try Are you ticklish? Are you ticklish?
What cannot be touched cannot be tickled.
Can you laugh? I guess that's the answer. All right. All right. What cannot be touched cannot be tickled? Can you laugh? I don't know. I hope you guys get it. It didn't make sense to me. She's talking in circles today. Tell me something interesting.
On this day in 1962, track and field Olympic gold medalist Jackie Joyner Kersee was born.
Well, I didn't know that. I don't know who she is, but I didn't know that. Hey, on this day, I have these little on these day things, Star Spangled Banner. Francis Scott Key adopted, and they adopted the Star Spangled Banner as our national anthem. So they did that. This is kind of interesting. In 1977, Bing Crosby, the singer, if you older people know him, but younger people might not, but he fell 20 feet into the orchestra pit. Well, now that would be that would be interesting. And then I don't know if you all, let's see again, if you're not older, but know who Mr. Wizard was. In 1951, Mr. Wizard started his program. We used to watch him all. Don Herbert was his name on it. So that happened today in 1951. I remember watching him as a kid. The younger kids today have no clue who I'm talking about. So, but Mr. Wizard uh, started today, you know. So in 1899, first use of the wireless telegraph. It saved lives at sea. So they usually that was did Morse code did dot, you know, and never learned that. I used to want to get into ham radio, but it used to be ham radio. You had to learn Morse code. That was the only reason that I didn't really get into ham radio was because I just didn't want to. I don't have good memory, so Morse code would not have been good for me. So that was one reason I didn't get into ham radio. I did have, I remember back in the 80s, CB radio was very big deal. I had a set of beams. Now, beams is a set of radio antenna that points and everything. You concentrate your signal one direction so you can talk a lot further. And you spent a lot of time on the CB radio. It had a base station at home, and every car we had a CB in it. And then you went by a handle instead of your real name. My handle was the Mustang, and usually they called me Muskie. That was the short for Mustang, so I was known as Muskie on the CB radio. And and the reason I just happened to have a Mustang at the time, so that's you adopted whatever as your handle, you know. And so I went as the Mustang and or Muskie. But I had that for years, and believe it or not, I still have my base station. It's up in the attic. I don't know if it works or not. Uh, that I used back then. I say back in the 80s, and that was a big deal. I don't think there's too many. I think a few truckers will use CB. You know, it used to be Channel 19. Go down the road, and you know, you talk to the truckers there, and they'd warn us of the bears, which was the police, was there, and you know, you follow each other and stuff. So that was a big deal back in the 80s. There, it was pretty cool, you know. So back in 1879, the first U.S. postage stamp, Congress authorized the denominations of 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, and 5 cents. Well, you're not going to send a letter now for one, two, three, or five, or you won't even send one for 10 cents anymore. I don't even know what it is. I don't send letters, you know. Um, so anyway, and then there's something right here in Florida. In 1845, Florida became the 27th state. So 1845, we became a state of the United States. And then again in 1815, we declared war against Algeria. We've always been fighting somebody. Ever noticed that? We can't get along with nobody. Always someone said that their family, their cousin was in this war and their uncle's in this war, and they said they couldn't get along with nobody. Well, now in 1891, no, 1791, Whiskey Rebellion, Congress passed its first international revenue law and exercised the duty to, oh, it acts as the end duty for 11 to 30 cents per gallon of whiskey. So they started charging for whiskey back in 1791. I was just reading the story, Moonshine. I don't know if you all remember Popcorn Sutton. He was on television there, and Popcorn was known as one of the best new moonshiners. I mean, he would had it still going and make his whiskey, and well, they kept after him and after him. Finally, they were going to take him to jail. Well, Popcorn wasn't uh, about to put up with that. So I guess it was his truck. He started it up and committed suicide. He was not going to go to jail, but he left an interesting epitaph. He made his own stone there before he went to jail, and you have to look what it says. He was colorful, but and I guess that's still in his grave. His epitaph that he wrote. He wrote the stone, and so he wasn't about to let those revenues take him to jail. So that was Popcorn Sutton. He was a pretty good moonshiner back in his day. So then, back in 1692, the Salem witch trials. So uh, it says Sarah Good and her female slaves were sent to jail for witchcraft. Sarah was later hung, and in uh, it was hung. In following months, 19 others will be executed. So hey, they did it. Hey, birthdays. Alexander Graham Bell. He was born in 1847. So he uh, he wouldn't even know what a cell phone is today. Can you imagine that? Alexander Graham Bell invented the phone, but you know how much different the phone is today compared to back then. I mean, you'd have no clue, what a cell phone is. So that's kind of interesting. The technology. He had no clue that technology that he was inventing what it would be today. So pretty cool. In 1911, Jean Harlow was born. She was in the movies. Um, I don't know which all movies she was in. I think, well, it says here, Platinum Blonde in 1931, Bombshell in 1933, and Riff Raff in 1936. So Jean Harlow was born today. Let's see who else was here. Lou Costello in 1959. Hey, Abbott! He was comedian, him and Abbott and Costello. Uh, Remember they did the Who's on First? What's on first and who's on second? So that was a pretty cool. Look that up. You can probably find that on YouTube there. The thing that Abbott Costello. So that was pretty cool. And, Arthur Murray, 1991. I don't think he was born. Maybe he died. Oh, this was death. Lou Costello died in 1959, and Abbott and Arthur Murray died in 1991. He was the big dance guy. He was. And did he have a partner? Who am I thinking? Someone had a partner. There were several dance teams that they had partners in that, and now it's Dancing with the Stars. I used to watch that when they first started, when they actually was dancing with stars, and they don't really dance with stars anymore. These are athletes; they're not stars. I don't care what you say; they're not a star. A star would be somebody you knew on TV. Period. I don't consider athletes stars. Like I don't consider me a star, and nobody else would either. So hey, today I put up a video today on making fried oysters. I love these things. I was gonna wanted to get some of these when we were out at the deck down under, and they don't have them anymore. So I made some, but check out my video today. But that was my 400th video, so that's pretty good. I got 400 videos there. We got over 80,000 views out of those 400 videos. So check them out. Again, hey, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. You can catch up with. I got videos, you name it, just all kinds of stuff, and not just one particular subject. You name it. I put all kinds of videos up for different things there. Well, let's see if it's Cortina. See, I always wanted to say Google, but it's Cortina. Let's have her do an impression. Do an impression.
That was my awesome sprinkler impression. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good. Oh, do an impression. Let's see. Let's have her do another one. Do an impression.
Banana.
Banana. That was a banana. One more. Do an impression.
Will Wile-E Coyote. Super genius.
I don't know. What do y'all think of her impressions? It's kind of probably as good as I could do. Let's see what she looks like. You hear her, but what she look like? What do you look like?
I'm a circle now, but I have ambitions. One day, I'll be a sphere.
Sphere. See your circle when you look at her on the uh, computer. It's just a round thing though, so that's what she is. She's a circle on it. That's pretty good. One more chance. Let's have her see if she can sing us a song. Sing me a song.
By the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea, you and me, you and me, oh how happy we'll be.
Yeah, by the sea. You see? That's what she wrote. You see? Oh, that's pretty cool. So, anyways, Saturday morning's usually a weekend for most people. Some people have to work on the weekends, and most people it seems like they don't have to work on the weekends. So that's a good deal. Hey, what do you think of my new format? I changed this around. I've been watching some of these morning chats afterwards, and it's a lot clearer. I got a different camera, and instead of using the cell phone, I'm using my computer. So uh, it processes better, and so it almost looks like it's been recorded. But some days I do record stuff. Maybe tomorrow will be one of those days if I'm out early or just take a little time to set these up and do them. So tomorrow might be a recorded version, but today's a live version, and yesterday was, and it looks like it's coming out pretty clear. Technology, I try to keep things looking better and better, and try to grow this page. Hey, if you're subscribed, share my page with other people. Tell them to come on board. I'd like to build up a list of questions. Even if you answer it after this video is over, you can still pose a question to it, and then the next day I will answer that question to it. I've gotten a few questions on a few other videos I've put up. We did one video at the Ormond Loop, and the one guy sent me a question. Well, he said that he got a ticket there. I think it was 1999. It's been a while ago, but he was doing like 60 mile an hour and he got stopped there. But that's like a 25 mile an hour zone. He's lucky he didn't. He said the cop even reduced the ticket for him on it. So apparently he was going a little too fast. I think he realized that. Uh, I used to drive faster when I was younger. As you older you think things through more. You slow down. I'm always going on about these roundabouts that we've had a couple new ones put in town here. These things are terrible, and I've seen some people posting stuff on Facebook about the roundabouts. And one person was complaining because someone actually stopped. Well, you have to stop. Yield can be anything from slow down and go on if nothing's coming, upwards to if there's traffic coming, you stop, let them go by till it's your turn. You yield to them in general. So you yield to your left. I think somebody was complaining and said no one hit somebody in the back end. Well, they were probably following too close, going too fast, and they want to blame the person who stopped, but that's not the blame. So, anyways, yeah, roundabouts, they're crazy. I don't like them. Um, you have to be careful about them there. They think they're the way they have them over, I guess, in England, and they claim they're good, but I don't know. You ever see the Chevy Chase European Vacation? He gets over there and gets in that roundabout and can't get out. And get Big Ben. Big Ben goes around, round, round, and then ends up being dark. Probably spent an hour there on that roundabout. That's funny. Okay, so hey, we're about 20 minutes in. We just want to keep them about that. We can go longer than that, but just try to keep them right on 20. Again, if you're not subscribed, Lucky Dog Productions, hit the subscribe button. Costs absolutely nothing. It's a great bargain. It requires nothing from you. But yeah, just smash on the subscribe and hey, give us a thumbs up. If you enjoy stopping by and listening to me talk, leave comments down below. You see in there, you put a comment. Comment on anything. Comment on a subject you'd like to talk about. Comment on a subject that I've talked about. So yeah, leave comments and we'll talk more about them. Uh, it's like sitting around the coffee shop in the morning and chatting, getting ready for your day, and just chatting it through. So we'll everybody have a good weekend. It's Saturday morning, so hopefully people are off and can go out and enjoy some things today. Hey, we'll see you again tomorrow.